Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video documenting my exercise program. So, as you can see, to start a good exercise program, you want to start early in the morning. I don't know how good the video is back here, but we still have street lamps on. So, it's fairly early in the morning. Um, and I've already been for what I call a good lap. The good lap is like this distance marker that you set yourself. It's some point where where you've measured it on your step counter, and you're like, oh, that's a pretty distant point, and it makes sense to kind of like go to this spot and then come back. So I call that the good lap. And my good lap is about 400 calories. So in a day, my goal is to do 5 good laps. And this morning, I'm already on 1 good lap. So now I have just 4 remaining, and the street lamps are just being shut off now. So getting a good early start, that's a important thing. So you feel like that you're being accomplished during the day, that you have enough time to, set out to achieve what you're trying to achieve. It's motivating to already be, into your exercise and the city's asleep. Okay, yada, yada, yada. Now, what's another thing to think about? Okay, so during the exercise, it's going to be a long distance walk. So, we're going to try to get 2,000 calories in. It's going to be a few hours today. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let the breath lead the exercise. So I'm not going to be running. I did a little bit of running this morning, and I'm going to be doing some more later. But first thing I want to do is just have the endurance where I'm able to do the 2,000 calorie workout on a consistent basis and not have too much of a recovery time. So the technique is going to be allowing the breath to lead the exercise, which means that you're not going so fast that you're out of breath. You're going just at the speed that your breath is telling you to go. This way, you're able to go the distance. So and then, as the exercise progresses, I'm probably going to do sprints. I'm going to do runs between certain markers. Like along this bike path, there are markers, and it goes all the way to, as long as the bike path goes, there are these markers every, I don't know how far, a quarter of a kilometer, half a kilometer. And so the goal is then to, run between the markers and then walk between the markers, run between the markers, walk between the markers. And this is sort of like when I'm getting into even better shape, that I'll be able to, do this 2,000 calorie exercise in shorter and shorter times, that I'll be able to make distance, quicker. But the goal here is to maximize distance and then to maximize the speed. So first we're going to go for the distance, and then we're going to maximize the speed. The speed will come later. I have flat feet. I'm not interested in doing long distance running. And there's something to be said for like impact and all this, that like you can mess up your knees if you run too much during your lifetime, if you're a heavier person or whatever. However your ergonomics work, they say a little bit of running is important. It actually supports your bone density. But I don't know, for me, like long distance running has never been like something that I've enjoyed. I enjoy sprinting. I enjoy sprinting very much. And then, I really like pushing myself on these distance walks. It's going to get me a lot of fresh air. I'm going to get a lot of endorphins. Okay, guys. Well, I don't know what else I can include in this video. Oh, another tip, step counter. Get yourself a step counter. The step counter is in my phone that I'm videoing off of. I would show it to you. But any kind of step counter that it works off of your GPS, sometimes they have ads. It's worth it. It's worth it to see how far you've walked in a day, you know, how many calories that is roughly. And then you start getting into the nutrition aspect of your exercise program where you're weighing yourself. You should have a scale. Every day you should be telling yourself, okay, you know, I weigh this much. You should write it down. You know, if you're in that range where you still have to lose a lot of weight, say, you know, more than 10 pounds, you should be documenting calories and all this. Yeah, so, for example, like on this walk, I have a cistern of coffee here. So I have this 64-ounce container from Walmart, and it'll keep my coffee warm for like 3 days or something crazy like that. But I find it useful. I find caffeine, you know, useful. Like, you know, after a half of a good lap, I may want to take a break, sit down on a bench, have a little cup of coffee, and then keep going. I find that coffee helps. It helps you keep going. It kind of like numbs, especially early in the exercise. You know, it's like it's a little bit of a painkiller so that you can get up to speed before your endorphins start kicking in after you begin your workout. So they recommend that you drink coffee before a workout. That caffeine before a workout is actually good for workouts. So yeah, it's just like along my walk, I bring my coffee with me. You know, I stay hydrated. You know, it's like you don't want to get dehydrated, but you know, I have plenty of coffee. You know, and it's not too strong, so I'm not worried about that. What else? For breakfast, I had oatmeal. So I made a little commercial this morning. I don't know, you can see it on my channel that every morning is an opportunity for oatmeal. So I realized, you know, I'd been eating pizza. You know, pizza is pretty healthy, but for every day, lunch or dinner, and then your other food is rice, you know, it's really important to get a good handle on your food. So, you know, today I'm gonna go for beans. I'm actually gonna be looking for brown rice, and then I also have spaghetti, so I'll be making spaghetti later. You know, just to mix up those grains. But yeah, having oatmeal for breakfast. Oatmeal is really, really healthy. You know, it has I don't know, like all kinds of minerals, and you know, just like oatmeal is very healthy, especially, you know, for your breakfast. I don't know if there's a wrong amount of oatmeal that you can have, but it's like, you know, if that were in place of my pizza, I'd be so much healthier today. Like literally, if I would invert my pizza consumption with my oatmeal consumption, it's going to be doing me a lot of good, and I think I'm going to do just that. Another thing, guys, is to incorporate walks to the grocery store. So, you know, it's like, hey, you know, what the hell am I doing on this long-ass walk? Why don't you go and walk to the grocery store and see what kind of produce is there? So as you're getting steps, you're also seeing, you know, what kind of deals are on, you know, you see what kind of produce you can get on clearance. Every day at the grocery store as part of your walk. And this can really help, I think, because it's, you know, it's taking care of your nutrition as well. But yeah, I think also the key is repetition and rest. So, you know, you don't want to push yourself to the point of, you know, breaking down, because that's counterproductive. You want to be operating in your optimal zone. So it's like you don't want to push yourself to red line, you know, where you're not going to be making any progress just because your body literally needs that rest to rebuild itself. Okay, guys, I'm almost at the 10-minute mark. So, you know, I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to get into good shape.